Good morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. And we are having coffee this morning. Down just a smidge. How are you? It's some interesting energy out there for sure. Lot of contentiousness, a lot of reactivity. We are on the eve of our election here in the US. And this is really what this reading has to do. This is the most contested election I have ever been exposed to. I suspect it might be the most contentious one we've ever had. But then in the past, we didn't have the same kind of media uh, availability, and certainly not the same kind of media uh, concentration and manipulation. And so it's good to remember that the things coming out right now, all about everything, are meant to manipulate. They are meant to keep you in emotional upheaval. They are meant to keep us divided. So the best thing we can do is everything possible. Good morning, Julia. Great morning, Susan. Uh, Everything possible to keep ourselves balanced out of fear, out of reaction, contention. Um, and as I was preparing, the goddess Venus is the one that has come through with the message today. And before I knew that, I went to the deck that was speaking to me, which was Wild Woman Rising, which is always a fun deck. But the overarching theme from this deck, and I'm going to read it because it is just a beautiful message, certainly is somewhat self-explanatory in Create Your Own Paradise. Isn't she gorgeous? Paradise isn't achieved by perfect world order or by lack of suffering, or even by peace, love, and light. Paradise is created when we, like the flower, live in our deepest soil, spread our petal wings towards all that's sky hopeful, and allow ourselves to bloom where we are planted. This means forgiving ourselves and others. It means starting over after failure. It means allowing the overused and no longer useful to fall away. There's a balance we want to achieve. When we bloom in adversity, paradise is created in the heart and Wild Woman rises. It really is up to us, regardless of who wins the election tomorrow. I am working an election, a poll center. Um, the last time that Trump was in the election, it was a pretty peaceful place. It was very peaceful. So I don't expect it to be any different, except that, people are on edge. People are jittery. And that's definitely orchestrated by those powers that be. So what we can do, good day, Courtney, Francesca, good morning, Jeannie, good morning, and Cindy, good morning. It is orchestrated by those powers that were. They want to keep us at one another's throats. So what we can do is manage our energy, because again, we're sharing it with those around us. And regardless of what the outcome is, it's going to be okay in the end. And tomorrow, regardless of who wins, it's not the end. It may not be the one you voted for, but know that there is this bigger picture, and becoming the observer by keeping your energy in balance, by keeping your emotions under your purview, under your purveyance, not allowing all of the happenings to trigger you. Maybe you need to not watch all of the happenings. Maybe you just need to buy a paper on Wednesday morning and see what happened there, rather than get in all the upheaval and the emotionalism that this damn media, both sides, does not matter who you listen to, they're all trying to produce the same kind of results, which is fear and blame and division. They're all being manipulated by the cabal that rules. that few in the upper echelon that have navigated, negotiated, and created this crap from the beginning. We are the ones that uncreate it, first in ourselves and then by what we share with the world. So, Archangel Michael is the next one. Ask Archangel Michael to help you with this situation, the warrior. The situation isn't the election, the situation is you. The situation is how you are perceiving things, how you're sharing energy in the world. If you haven't voted and if you're going to be voting tomorrow, go and just keep shedding pure love and joy on everyone in that line. That is one thing you can do to raise your vibration and to be sharing less contention, less fear, less anger, less blame, less division out into the world. It is a powerful tool. In the morning, do a minute of gratitude practice, then a minute or two of pure love and joy on anything, because this is about you. And then a few deep breaths, a few minutes of breath work is never a bad thing. If you will take the time to do the daily energy routine to balance yourself, do that as well. Courtney says, a friend channeled and she said, remember to not give away your power. Yeah, anytime we are being manipulated by the media, which is what they want, and they always have wanted that. It has always been owned by someone who had an agenda. Anytime we're being manipulated, we want to pull back in. And so, embrace the interior winter is the next card that came up. It is that time of reflection. It is that time when you don't go out and commiserate with your friends. You don't go out and break windows. I have a hard time believing anybody watching a video like this would even want to do that. But I do know that we all have opinions and we have differing opinions, as we should. We have lived different experiences throughout this life and throughout many lives. We came in to do different work here. And so we're not always going to agree on how that happens. But if we stay connected to our higher power and we stay in balance, and that's what we are working to achieve within ourselves, then we absolutely will make a change in whatever the outcome is. It is going to be okay in the end. It does not matter, truly does not matter who gets elected. It'll be interesting to see how the crumbling that happens afterwards. In about 6 months, we're going to really start to see things in the way this world has been run, these world governments by the power elite. And I know many of you believe your party of choice is not that, but I can tell you it is all that. It is not the party. It is not the person you've elected. It is that above them that is causing all of this. They want us in fear because fear is easy to control. They want us with someone to blame because that gets this aggression out when we attack them in whatever way we do that. So it is a full-time job, which means you want to go in, you want to be quiet, you want to center yourself, do your energy work before you go out into the world so that you are bringing more of what you really want this world to be: love and connectivity and understanding and compassion and empowerment for all of us to live in that. How that can be done, I don't know. I just know it can. And that's what we're working into. I don't have that 30,000 foot view. I have 1,000 foot view. I have an overview of what's going on, which helps me not be in so much disharmony within. Somebody messaged me the other day, and it was a pointed message to vote the way they wanted me to vote. And it was somebody I care about who knows exactly who I am and where I stand. And this person also is a shit disturber at times. I don't think they really intend to be, but it's what they grew up with. And so, I mean, my immediate reaction was, oh, and then it was like, you know who they are. You know they are love. You know what they desire. They just see it happening from a different perspective than you do. And so that is what we want to hold on to as we move into tomorrow and afterwards, holding and managing our energy. Another one, protect your flow. Don't let all of this manipulative energy pull you in. There is no right or wrong party. There is no right or wrong way in this. It is, I mean, there all of the powers that were and the media would have you believe that one or the other is the stupidest choice you could make. And so that can't be possible. When I was a very young girl, I went to many churches because I lived in lots of houses before I was 9. And so I saw different buildings, different people, different belief systems. I felt the difference in all of these. And so I knew there was not just one way. And so when I settled after age 9, I went to one church until I just could not put up anymore with the preacher standing up there and telling me why all the other religions were wrong. And so I moved to a non-denominational church. And towards the end, that's exactly what they were doing too. They were telling me why one specific religion was wrong. And it really just did not harmonize within me. And that's really your meter. Does this feel like balance? Does this feel like peace? If it does not, let it go. Mickey Haji, hand pink waving, sweetie as usual. Okay, well, Mickey Haji probably doesn't speak very good English, so I'm not exactly sure what they're saying. But it does feel high vibe. I kind of, as usual, thank you for your powerful message. Maggie McCann, I'm sending so much loving, calming, understanding, unconditional to love you to you and your country right now. Thank you, Maggie. That is really what we need to exercise. And then it was funny, an acronym came, well, a few acronyms came through from Venus once I figured out she was the one that wanted to come through, for love. Love's acronym can be let others vibrate easily. When we have to voice our opinion, when we have to get that out, that is never from a place of love and understanding. It is a place from ego and irritation and reactivity. And so what we're creating in another is disharmony, which means they are not vibrating easily. Leave one variable elevated. That means allow for the possibility that they could be as right as you in their thinking. And it is possible to be having total different points of view and be absolutely right because your vantage point is different. Perspective. When I pick green beans, I'm always reminded of perspective because I'll go around and I'll pick them all. And then when I come at a different angle, there's a bunch of them happening. There's still a bunch there. It's a different perspective. And that's what leave one variable elevated. Leave just one open possibility for someone else's opinion or experience to be different. And so there were a couple others. They were interesting. I'll go ahead and read them. Loud oneness validates everyone. The fact that we are one, we are connected. If COVID didn't show us anything else, that should be one of the things we learned from COVID. Lean on voluminous energy. Lean on that huge energy that expands, that allows each of us our truth and can still hold us in the same vibration of love. We want to be that in the world. We want to produce more of that and allow more of that in our lives. And so we all, thanks, Jonathan, sending so much. Oh, Maggie's came through twice, as they often, I don't know. Yeah. as mine will often at times too. So we have a choice here. We are at a choice point. We are all at a choice point in our country, in our world, and it's a big one. Choose love, choose understanding, choose balance within yourself, choose peace within yourself by being intentional in your gratitude work and in sending love out into the world and in sending peace. I invite you between now and tomorrow, if you're going to a polling place to vote, send pure love and joy to surround that place several times. Every time you think about going, send peace, send pure love and joy. The power of your intention will send that ripple to that area. I'm at a school tomorrow in the gym, which is where we were the last time, although we had masks on the last time. Oh, yeah, weird, interesting things we live in with this digital world, which is also quite manipulative. I don't know, there was this headline, and you want to watch that. Feel out the headlines of these outrageous stories. If it's more than true, if it's too good to be true, it probably isn't. And there's so much false, just stupid stuff out there that you want to really have your spidey senses up about, because there's so much that will be manipulated through digital media from this point on. You want your gut on high. I'm open, I'm willing, I'm ready. Guide me. Have these angels, guides, companions, your light team in with you to give you the understanding, to make you understand when something is totally not true, when it is out of balance, when it is prickly in you, when you kind of go, I don't know, that feels not quite right. That's because it isn't. And so you take that. Do you have to act on it? No. It is for you to learn who you are, to trust your gut, to really start living in your power and be that purveyor of light in the world, regardless of what you think about everything that is going on. Yes, Maggie says it's always best to look at both sides. Jonathan says, agreed. Lots of misinformation and propaganda in the digital world. So much right now. And so many of these really stupid nature stories that are coming out that, are just absolutely impossible to have occurred. That's like the beginning. And that's a great way to use your spidey senses, is to look at that and go, this is just outrageous, because it is. And know that feeling. Trust your gut and do what you know is right. And then the last card is, you created this situation. You have the power to change it. And we came into this world with certain things we wanted to learn and be and do. And we have created what we wanted to learn as well. And so we bring things to us. As a collective, we have created all this tumultuousness to get all of this negative, evil, overpowering, horrible, toxic energy that we have lived in for millennia, where this ruling class has been manipulating all of us in one way or the other. And we have created to learn from the things in our lives that we don't like, that are uncomfortable, not enjoyable. But you standing in your power, managing your own energy system, and owning, okay, what did I want to learn from this? How can I grow from this? And how can I expand? Takes you out of the victim and puts you in a place of empowerment. And you can get out of the icky energy quicker. You can get back to having a good time, which is pretty much what I'd like to do most of the time in life. All I want to do is have some fun. Me and Sheryl Crow. Maggie says, I've watched interviews and then watched it being manipulated completely to the public. Meg, but a fearful person is easier to control. Absolutely. That's why you owning your power, your ability to remove that fear energy, because that's all it is. it can be centered around lots of things, but it is just an energy. And so as you bring in the love, when you shed pure love and joy out on whatever, again, it can be the wall, the floor, the ceiling, it does not matter. You are pulling the lower density, the lower vibrating energies from your field and filling yourself with love and compassion. And then we are in less judgment, less easily divided, less easily manipulated. And that's what we want. That's what we all want. The Republicans are not wrong. The Democrats are not wrong. They are different perspectives in this same world. They have a different way of looking at things. And they cannot possibly see the world the same way you do, because they've lived a very different life than you have. They've had very different experiences than you have. So allow them their truth with love. As I walked around trick-or-treating the other night, the neighborhood I was in was a very different ideological bent than what I have. And I what I saw was people reaching out for connection. People sitting out with their fire pits, wanting to just visit all of the people walking around with their kids. People wanting out of their everyday lives by dressing up and being something different for a little bit. People just wanting to have some joy and fun. That is what we all want. And allow that to be okay. Allow that they have a different way that they think is going to make that happen, because really they just want the same thing that you and I want. They just see it coming differently. So boil it down to love, gratitude, peace, ease, and joy, and spend some time sending that out into the world. As much as I would like to believe that that would stop the craziness that's going to happen after the election, I don't think it will. But maybe we can mitigate it some. And certainly within ourselves, we do not have to be participating in what happens afterwards. We can be holding our vibration in peace and in love and be sending that out, because it will matter. Like I say, that favorite movie line, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it is not the end. I believe we are complete for this beautiful Monday in November. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle.